officer down. We need to get out here. Let's go.
Three Lorain police officers rushed to the hospital after being ambushed.
When the officers arrived, he opened fire with a high-powered rifle and shot at the officers.
Investigators searched the suspect's home looking for answers.
This is a difficult day for the Lorain Police Department and the law enforcement community.
Pray for the Lorain Police Department in the coming days.
The officers are Peter Gale and Philip Wagner, who have been with Lorain PD for 3 years, and Brent Payne, who's been on the force since 2011. The suspect who shot them is dead. So far,
Acting Lorain Police Chief Michael Parker says officers Wagner and Gale were in their patrol cars parked side by side on Riverbend Drive while eating lunch, and that is when a man parked on the road suddenly started shooting. Parker says Officer Gale was shot in the hand while Officer Wagner was shot multiple times. They called for help, and that's when Officer Brent Payne arrived on scene, but he too was shot several times. Investigators confirm the lone suspect, described as a 28-year-old man, was killed during the gunfire, though it's still unclear exactly how he died.
An arsenal of weapons with him. He was laying in wait and opened fire with multiple rounds at both of the officers who were sitting in their vehicles.
Elyria police shared the chilling reality of what unfolded the afternoon of July 23rd. Officer Philip Wagner and Peter Gale were eating in a cul-de-sac at the end of Riverbend Drive when suddenly 28-year-old Michael Parker drove up and began firing at Officer Wagner's police cruiser. Police say Officer Gale drove away from the cul-de-sac to call for backup. And in the few minutes before backup arrived, Parker took his position, staging his car to face incoming officers and setting up an arsenal of weapons, including 1 shotgun, 2 handguns, and 7 rifles.
5 of those 7 had magnification or optics, a scope on top of them, which indicated the suspect's intent to engage from distance and with precision.
Police shared Officer Brent Payne's dash and body camera footage since he was the first officer to arrive as backup. The footage shows he's immediately met with gunfire.
15 to 38, I'm coming in the area. Where should I not go?
Come on, we're down. Shots were fired. The silver vehicle right there stopped. Okay, now pull up. We've got a rifle, get out.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. We'll pick it back up here in a second. So what did we see there? What did we hear? We heard silver vehicle right there. It's that silver vehicle. That's Officer Gale telling Officer Payne it's that vehicle down there. Officer Gale radios and says he's got a rifle. He's got a rifle. And what you're not going to see is Officer Gale's vehicle parked, pulled up next to his and slightly behind, is backing up and repositioning as he's relaying this information. Both officers at this point and their cruisers over the next several seconds are struck by the incoming rifle fire. In that initial volley that you heard, the suspect fired approximately 25 to 30 rounds at the officers and their cruisers. Officer Gale backs up. I don't know if you heard it and I can play it again, but Officer Gale backs up. He's trying to get Officer Payne in his vehicle, which you'll see when we play Officer Payne's body camera footage. He's trying to get him in the car. Got the incoming shots. That initial volley of 25 to 30 shots. While Officer Gale is trying to get Officer Payne to get into the vehicle, the suspect starts shooting directly into the side of Officer Gale's vehicle. Officer Gale gets struck in the hand by gunfire, and fortunately he's able to drive himself out of that barrage of gunfire. As he's heading northbound, he's radioing active shooter over the radio. Officer Gale continues north to what essentially ended up being the staging area as officers were arriving in the area, and ultimately the command post was established up in that area. He met up with other officers and he's transported away from the scene. What you're going to see when we play Officer Brent Payne's body camera footage is he's able to, he gets out of his vehicle, he starts to maneuver towards the back of his cruiser. His intent was to retrieve his patrol rifle. Never got the chance. While he is attempting to move away from his vehicle after he starts receiving incoming gunfire, he starts to move on foot north and east towards a wood line. What you'll see is the suspect fires an additional volley of approximately 30 rounds at both Officer Gale, his vehicle, striking his vehicle and shattering the back window, and Officer Payne as he continued to maneuver towards the wood line. Officer Payne did briefly return fire. He got a couple shots off with his service weapon. As he got closer to the wood line, he fell in the grass, and ultimately he was struck both in the hip and in the lower arm. Despite his wounds, he was able to crawl into the wood line and radio for other officers for assistance. Next, I'm going to play Officer Brent Payne's body camera footage.
To 38, I'm coming in the area. Where should I not go?
Come all the way down, shots were fired. The silver vehicle right there stopped. Okay, now hold on. We've got a rifle, get out.
Payne returns fire toward the shooter while running toward the woods, and then he's shot.
Now he's coming up here, let's go.
Minutes later, more backup arrives, with officers approaching and fatally shooting Parker. Investigators confirmed Parker fired 103 times at officers before they shot and killed him. They recovered 294 loaded magazines, more than 7,500 rounds of ammunition, and 100 pounds of tannerite, an explosive material investigators say is equal to around 50 pounds of TNT. In looking at Parker's past, Elyria police say he began acquiring firearms in 2019, but increased purchase activity between March and July of this year. Police say they're still working to uncover a clear motive. Parker did not leave a manifesto or notes. He was unemployed at the time of the shooting, and neighbors described Parker as quiet and keeping to himself. Parker's prior encounters with police include a traffic offense where Officer Philip Wagner cited him, but no criminal offenses. The Lorain County coroner did share this insight into Parker's mental and medical history.
He's been diagnosed as schizophrenic in the past. He's been diagnosed as having a psychotic disorder or illogical thinking in the past. He was on medicine. I have found no available evidence that he's been on medicine for at least 8 or 9 years.
That one of the officers, 35-year-old Philip Wagner, has passed away from his injuries. Officer Wagner joined the Lorain Police Department in February of 2022.
The officer, one of the 3 officers injured yesterday in the ambush shooting, Philip Wagner, has passed away as a result of his injuries.